And here we are, back in the garage. And this is what my 1960 Jaguar Mark II saloon looks like currently. If you've seen the first episode of this project, you'll see that the engine compartment looks different. A lot of work went into cleaning, and I still have a ways to go. But things are progressing, even though it may not look that much better. It actually is. We're getting closer to being able to eventually primer and paint this engine compartment after I get some cosmetic work done in there. The suspension, which you're looking at, the steering box, front axle, suspension, steering geometry, engine mounts, and all that. Today's task is to remove that, drop that out, and bring it out underneath on jack stands. And then that'll allow me to get into the engine compartment and stand up and finish cleaning and prepping the metal in there and doing repairs that are required. So let's have a look here. The wheels have been pulled off. You can see the splined hubs for the wire wheels with the knockoff flanges on there and that. But everything you see in here, the upper and lower control arms, the anti-sway bar, and like I said, all the steering geometry along with the power steering box, that's going to get dropped down today. There's 10 bolts holding everything on, and so I will be putting a floor jack underneath that and basically disconnecting everything. I've already disconnected the brake lines that go to the front calipers, and that'll expose a lot more of the engine compartment, particularly down towards the lower sections there, for cleaning and also to look for any kind of metal damage, rust damage, corrosion damage, and that. So yeah, that's done. And insofar as the interior is done, I can't remember exactly how far along I had gotten, but I haven't done any repair work on that yet. Still in the cleaning phase. There's been a lot of other things happening here. And but I have taken out all of the horsehair insulation, sound deadening material, and that. The headliner has to come out, and that will be very soon once I get the engine compartment cleaned up, and the transmission tunnel that you're looking at there. Underneath there is still quite a bit of that wax oil corrosion prevention material that the British seem to love so much. It is an absolute pain to remove. And we have the fuel tank here, which is going to go outside fairly soon. It will be completely emptied. It is mostly emptied now. That's going to go out, and I'm going to try something different with this. I'm going to use Easy Off oven cleaner on the outside of that, just to pressure wash it, get most of the grime off there. And then I'll be inspecting the interior and trying to figure out how safe this fuel tank will be to use and how reliable it'll be. There will be some corrosion in there, no doubt about that. But some I can deal with. However, if it looks like it's going to perforate, in that, being as the fuel tank is very close proximity to the exhaust system, I won't be taking any chances. If I need to, I guess I'll have to buy a new fuel tank, which is available. But well, that remains to be seen. We'll see. That has to be investigated. And up here on the engine stand, you see the this big lump is is my 3.8 liter Jag engine, and straight six, all 224 kilograms of it, not counting the engine hoist chain assembly on the top. And that is the DG250 transmission that I'm still debating what I'm going to do there. It's not an easy piece of machinery to deal with in terms of spare parts and ease of repair, but that'll be solved. I'll figure it all out. And I am looking forward to removing the head off the engine, and which is behind the intake manifold here. The valve covers, I want to pull these off and look at the valve train. We're looking at the intake side of the engine right now. Oh, and I don't know why we've gone out of focus there. Let's see what we get. But oh, there we go. So yeah, we'll get both the intake and the exhaust valve covers off, and we'll have a look at the valve train, and we'll make a determination. I'll have to pull the head off and have a look inside. And the oil pan is down here. I have to pull that off too and look at the bottom end of the engine. Of course, what I want to do, the reason it's on the engine stand right now, is to be able to remove it from the engine location from the front of the shop to the back, so I can actually have some room to pull the front axle out. But then I'll be able to, now that this thing's on this engine stand here, I'll be able to wheel this outside, pressure wash it, get most of the grime off it. And there's the oil filter canister. That's going to be drained out yet. And what was in the, I already drained most of the crankcase oil out. What was in the oil pan itself was very ugly looking oil. It came out in clumps, so I'm not sure what I'm going to find there. But we'll see. Let's stay optimistic about things. I'm not going to be getting in too big of a rush here. And, yeah, you can see there's lots of cleanup required. Investigation. So on and so forth. There's the torque converter on the floor, along with the prop shaft, drive shaft assembly, and all kinds of bits and pieces laying all over the place still. Anyway, I think what we'll do is I'll shut down for now, and then what's going to happen is I'm going to put my coveralls on, and I'm going to start pulling out that front suspension steering geometry out of there, and I'll have that out on the floor over where that floor jack now sits. And I'll wheel that outside, not today, but soon, and I'll clean it up, and after I'm finished dealing with the interior of the engine compartment, getting that where it needs to be, then that'll be the next item that I'm gonna start inspecting, unless I decide to start on the bodywork repairs, which at some point are going to have to begin. And that there's some things that need addressing for sure, and I'll get it done. So you can tell I had too much coffee this morning. I got jitters. But that's enough for now. I'm going to sign off here, and then I'll pull this out, and we'll have a look at it once I get the front end apart and drop it down and bring it out. See you in a while.